Over the threshold, coming up on the white dot, outer beyond the white dot, left turn first available. I got a high wind coming up on about a half-mile final, clear to land outer beyond. Traffic on the left base, you're following the Cessna down low off your left. Square it up just a little bit, and then we're going to get you in. Start your descent, though. Start your descent on the base. Traffic on final, give me follow on base. Base traffic, start turning toward the numbers now. High wing coming up on quarter-mile final, take it all the way down to the green. Cessna taxiing on the green, expedite down to the next hard surface. Get me some speed, there you go, go fast. This is going to be good. I got traffic on a mile final. You're following traffic ahead and to your right. High wing coming up on the threshold. Take it all the way down to the green dot.
5 Charlie Sierra, 2 mile final.
A mile final, turn north, and we're going to just make you, we're going to bring you back around. Jet traffic's coming up on about a mile and a half final. Runway 9er clear to land.
Okay, all right. Let's listen up, guys. If you're on final for runway 9, I want you to offset to the left. I got a jet that's landing on runway 9. The jet's cleared to land runway 9 if you can make it. If not, just continue straight ahead. It looks like you're going around for the jet. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, we had one right in front of us, sir.
Dragger. Let's see. What we got? A tricycle. Tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tail dragger. Down to the green dot, then a left turn. Short final here. You cleared land on 9 all the way to the white dot. Go down to the white dot. Find somebody to follow out here. Canard, just come to the runway, and I might have to just send you around. That'll be fine. And for the jet, you just want to stay in this pattern, or you want to go back out for an instrument approach?
Stay in a pattern, Charlie Sierra.
All right, just stay with me here for a minute. And my tail dragger, let's see, over the numbers, go down to the green. And Canard's going to have to go around. Canard, go around. Canard, go around. Canard, go around. And my high wing here over the runway, keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. You do not descend. Do not descend. You got a fast guy behind you. Do not descend. There you go. Keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. As soon as the guy behind you gets slowed down, I'm going to put you down. So keep it airborne. The one that just passed the white dot, make a left turn on the hard surface. All right, my high wing tail dragger, you can put it down now. You can put it down now. And Charlie Sierra, let me get you about a mile off. Let's see, Charlie Sierra, I lost. There you are. Make a left-hand turn. I'll try to resequence you here on the down ones. We'll see how it looks. Short final, you're clear to land runway 9 on the white dot. Clear to land on the white dot. There you go. And the tricycle left on the hard surface and follow the flagman. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the show. And let's see, just find somebody to follow out follow on the final. And as you get close to the runway, if it's not going to work, we're going to send you around and then try to resequence you. Now, who else got sent around that's not back on the down one? The Canard?
Yeah, Canard.
All right, Canard, there's a Gulfstream up there that went around too. I just lost sight of him, but you're going to make kind of a left-hand turn and stay low. I think Charlie Sierra, what's your altitude?
3,200.
Okay, that'll be fine. Just maintain VFR. I don't know what else is up there above you. Probably most everybody's down here, so just make a left-hand turn. We'll try to get you back here.
Canard's got the jet in tight.
Okay, the RV, maybe an RV-10, whatever, here on final. Keep your speed up and go all the way down to the, aim for the green dot for me. Actually, keep your speed up. There's a guy behind you. Aim for the green dot, and I'm sure that's plenty of room for you to land on runway 9. You're clear to land on runway 9. Number 2, you're going to go down to the white dot. Follow the white dot. Actually, you know what? That's 1,500 feet. You're going to land at the white dot. The spacing looks adequate here. 2 guys on final. You're kind of tight there. Keep each other in sight, and you're going to aim for the white dot. If it's not going to work, we'll come up with a plan B. We might have to send you around. The second guy behind you out there in about a 2-mile final. Are you slow enough to be able to follow that guy in front of you? You need to go around. Well, I probably shouldn't ask that because I had about 5 guys answer me, so I should know better than that. After 35 years, you would think, right? All right. So let me see. The guy who's number 1, it's number 1. What kind of airplane is he? An RV type. All right, RV type. Keep it airborne for me. Keep it airborne. And I got a fast guy behind you. The number 2 guy over the trees there. Go ahead and put it down on the numbers. Put it down on the numbers. My first guy just coming up on the numbers at the over the grass at the numbers. I want you to keep
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Hello.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Hello. Hello, and welcome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight for another Flyer live stream. So, good news with some 3-letter acronyms. We've got some TDAs, some BD5s, some FBWs and stuff. We'll be talking to Simon about the weather, which is going to be amazing. So he's promised for weeks and weeks and weeks to come, allegedly. We've got Bruce Buglass from Sleap with us, one of the brilliant airfields in the UK. We got Fantasy Hangar events and QSY and all sorts of other bits and pieces along the way. However, before we go on, I just have to say a very, very big thank you to 4Flight for sponsoring the live stream and their Sentry. This is their award-winning ADSB in device, dual band ADSB. It's got an AHARS built in for that emergency time you need your attitude checking, and a carbon monoxide detector. I shall be flying with this tomorrow, so I'll report back next week. So that's great. So thank you very much to 4Flight for that. I think it must be time to find out how good the weather's going to be. So let's just run this and see if we can't rustle up Simon.
Well, it's good to see you've been in weather dreamland again, Ian. Yeah, if only the weather was going to be marvellous this weekend. Let me show you what's going to be going on. Now, first of all, the chart here that I've got for Friday, if we can just show you Friday's chart. Have we got that there? There we go. So Friday's chart. Now, this is not the usual colour charts that I show you. This is a chart that you'll be familiar of from the Met Office. And the reason I put this on is because of that line that's marked on there. Had several people contact me today to ask what that line is. That's actually a convergence line. So what is a convergence line? Well, as far as we're concerned, treat it the same as a trough. It basically brings heavy showers, some embedded QNIMs in there as well. But when you see them, they actually move very, very slowly. It's caused because of a coming together of the winds of a slightly different direction. When you see convergence line, expect it not to move very far very quickly, but it will be bringing the same weather as a trough. Some heavy showers in Scotland for tomorrow, but elsewhere you see here little ridge of high pressure just building in across central and southern England, Wales and Ireland. So actually not bad flying conditions here. I hope so, because I'm meant to be going flying tomorrow afternoon and I want the winds to be a lot lighter than they were today. Now, back to the normal coloured charts. This is the forecast for Saturday, and the reason I put Friday's chart on there is quite simply because Saturday looks pretty darn awful. We've got a front that tracks its way northeastwards. It's definitely one to be building those brownie points with. Some pretty heavy rain tracking northeast, strong winds as well. But and it could be that East Anglia, southeast England, the far south of England may improve late on Saturday afternoon. By late, I mean after about 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. It could become locally flyable then, although still pretty breezy, but generally Saturday not good. And you see there on the cloud ceiling forecast, this is the height of the cloud. Red is cloud below 500 feet or ceiling height below 500 feet. Orange is below 1,000 feet. Yellow is 1,000 to 2,000 feet. Green is 2,000 to 4,000 feet. And you see here lots and lots of oranges and reds around. Now, Sunday, well, Sunday not looking particularly brilliant either. Still got the remnants of fronts hanging around from that system that goes through on Saturday. A bit of uncertainty over exactly where the fronts are going to be. But I think certainly an area of non-VFR conditions out towards the west of Wales, southwest England, eastern parts of Ireland as well. Across England and Wales, got the remnants of an occluded front that just moves its way southwards away from the south coast on Sunday afternoon, taking out breaks of rain with it. Elsewhere, residual bits of cloud. Can you just see that little finger of cloud, that lower ceiling that kind of hangs around northern England through the Midlands into southern parts of England on Sunday? That probably brings us lower bases and some outbreaks of rain there, and across Scotland as well. Much of Scotland affected by bases of around 1,500 to 2,000 feet and some showers in there as well. So Sunday might be okay just to go and have a look at it and perhaps do a local flight. But generally, I think Sunday not looking particularly great. Saturday just looks pretty poor. So if you can get in the air this weekend, I think Friday is going to be the day to go for it. Now, we talk about convergence lines. We talk about much else at Aviation Weather School. I've got a couple of places remaining on my school, which begins on the 15th of May. It runs over 2 consecutive Saturday mornings, the 15th and the 22nd of May, from 9:30 till 12:30, so you can go flying then in the afternoons. Find out more information at weatherschool.co.uk, and you can book your place there now. As I say, I've got 2 places remaining on that course. Come along if you've not been. It really is fun, and I'll build your confidence in your ability to predict flying weather yourself, and trust the forecasts that you've seen from official sources, and be able to plan 5 days in advance. So it'd be great to see you there. Okay, I'll leave you with that for now. Whatever you're doing, have a fantastic and a safe flying weekend. And if you can get out there, get out tomorrow, because that looks to be the better of the days. See you next week, folks. Bye.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much, Simon. We forgot to say hello and goodbye at the beginning, and that's just our amateurish attempts. And the other thing I forgot to say, and this is really important. Remember the bit I was talking about Sentry and full flight and stuff like that? If you would like to find out more about this, they've created a special link for you, which I forgot to tell you about. So I'm telling you about it now. It's flywithsentry.com/flyer. flywithsentry.com/flyer. So if you could go and visit that and learn more about that, it would educate you a little bit if you don't know anything about it, and it would be good for us as well. So please do that for us. That would be great. Good. Well, I think, if I'm not wrong, it could well be time for the news. I think so. Which I think takes us to Dave, does it not?
It does.
Yes. I've been given the short straw this weekend, and today, and I have to tell you about two people who've died. First one is Chris Heinz, the founder of Zen Air, producer of Zenith airplanes, and a well-known aeronautical engineer. Chris, before he started Zen Air, worked on Concorde. He worked for Robin Aircraft, designing and producing a range of certified metal aircraft, before moving to North America to work for de Havilland in Toronto. Somewhere along the way, he started producing his own kit aircraft. He started in a 2-car garage, but now it's a fully fledged big company, and he's produced 12 successful designs over the years, and there are more than 800 Zenith aircraft flying in 48 countries around the world. And one of his aircraft, the CH-750, is a frequent winner of short takeoff and landing competitions. So, good chap, 82, died in the south of France. He's a European originally rather than American. He died in the south of France, and he sounds like he's had a pretty good life, stellar career.
I think his son now runs Zen Air, doesn't he, in the US?
Sebastian.
Sebastian Heinz. Yeah. I had a recollection as you were reading that story out. Who remembers that Zen Air also made a twin, the Gemini?
No.
Really?
Yeah, there was one example, and I don't think it ever made it into kit production, but there was a twin Zen Air as well.
Right. Was that like just conventional or a pusher?
Yeah, no, it was like it was a low wing twin engine. I forget what they were, but maybe Google for Zen Air Gemini twin if you want to know more. But it just popped into my memory.
One of the strange, no, maybe strange is the wrong word. One of the, and maybe not even unique things about the Zen Air is quite often they tend to replace the hinges or not have hinges, do they? Just have the flexing skin on the ailerons.
It's typical Chris Heinz, isn't it? It's very clever use of materials to keep your parts count low and keep the structure simple.
First time I saw that, I was like, it's a bit strange.
It does make you think of paper clips, but
yeah, I think the 750 was the first aircraft I ever properly saw doing a stall competition, and because of that, the angle of the rear fuselage, it just looks perfect for doing that kind of thing. And it's the first time I'd ever really heard of and seen anything stall related. So yeah,
they are very, very agricultural.
my claim to fame is I pulled one rivet in one of the Zen Airs that was being built during Oshkosh 20 whatever it was.
In the 1 week wonder, that's true. I have photos to prove that it was not not a duff rivet.
No, well, and I actually flew that airplane, I think, from Sebring a few years later.
You did, yeah,
which was interesting.
Were you wondering if the rivet was going to stay in place?
No, I was pretty. They were what we would all call like Cherry Max rivets, but which aeronautical engineers like to call structural pulled rivets, but they're just like pop rivets basically. The things that hold together all of the TBs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody else who has had a stellar career is a chap called Bernard Ziegler. He was 88. He's the inventor, as we know it, of the fly-by-wire system for commercial passenger aircraft, first fitted to the Airbus A320 in 1988. That's before the current digital age. He was working pretty much before everything we now know. Ziegler understood that having a computer interpret what the pilot wanted to do could also mean you could have envelope protection, so pilots couldn't exceed the aircraft's limits. That had a knock-on effect on the whole construction of the aircraft because you didn't have to over-engineer it to make up for ham-fisted pilots. Before he was,
Dave.
But before all that, he was he was an aeronautical engineer. He was also a fighter pilot in the French Air Force, and became a test pilot. And he actually joined Airbus as a chief test pilot. So great guy, I think, really.
Chief test pilot. I think he became VP of engineering or something at one point.
That's right. He retired about 20 years ago.
And he was also quite big on pushing the use of composites in commercial aircraft, I think, as well. So pretty avant-garde chap.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. So sad to see those two go, but also two lives well lived with lots to look back on.
Lots of contributions to aviation.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, indeed. Talking of contributions to aviation, that brings us on to the next story, which is one of mine, which is yet another TDA. This one was brought to my attention. If you're interested, it's ACP-202-049. It's up at Newton Stewart. It covers it's an application at the moment, and the details are sparse, but it's basically a company that's applying for a temporary danger area so they can operate drones in order to survey that 160 square miles worth of land up to 3,700 feet AMSL to check for various mineral deposits and stuff like that for a company that has some mining licenses up there. So that's in its early stages over on the CA Airspace Change portal. So if you want to go and take a look, I'll say that again, ACP-202-049. There's not a huge amount of detail there, but it's another 160 miles that looks like it could disappear. And as you can see, there's a couple of danger areas around there that kind of will effectively funnel traffic if we're not careful. So I've
just posted the link to the airspace change proposal on the CA website in our comments if you're interested in going along and taking a look.
Yeah,
very much. Ed. That's very slick.
Yeah,
we're getting good. Maybe. Talking of which, Ed.
Oh gosh, it's me. So Zero Avia, this is the company that came from America and is now basing in the UK, and they're developing hydrogen fuel cell technology to power an electric motor in aircraft. Obviously, part of the government's encouraged by the government's drive for zero emissions. Unfortunately, they had a problem with their test flight on the 29th of April and made a forced landing with their Malibu just outside Cranfield Aircraft. It was a successful forced landing, but the aircraft went through a hedge and tore the wing off, so they're down a prototype now. That Malibu's obviously operated under UKE conditions. The guys at Zero Avia said everything was operating to book. And obviously a bit of an interesting thing when you get that aeroplane on the ground, because you've got hydrogen and other issues. So they've got a protocol for releasing hydrogen and safeguarding all the electrical stuff. So be interesting to see how that one pans out when it's reported. So, but the crew were okay. So we wish them a speedy return to testing, because it's an interesting project.
Yeah.
When they say everything was operating to book, they meant right up to the point where it wasn't, presumably.
That's right. Yeah, all their safeguards, all their discharge, because we're all used to a forced landing and going, is there still fuel in the aeroplane and that kind of thing, and switching the mags off. Here you've got an aeroplane that's forced landed and has hydrogen in it. So
I think I'm right in saying that hydrogen, when it burns, it burns invisibly. So if it's like a small leak, you wouldn't actually see it there until something bigger started burning. So that was probably
they've obviously got electrics and hydrogen, which is requires some probably very careful handling, I would think. So,
yeah, I don't know how far away it was from Cranfield when it happened. I don't think it was too far, was it?
No, it wasn't clear how far away, but they obviously, all because it's conditions, all their flights are scheduled and operate to a pattern and stuff. So they will have been on their protocols.
There's a whole bunch of pictures out on the web of a sad-looking PA-46 with a wing missing and various bits ripped out the fuselage. So just Google that if you want to go and see it. We would have shown them to you, but we weren't 100% sure about the copyright on those, and we couldn't really get that sorted in time.
There is a news story on Flyer, and I'll post the link because I'm good at copy and paste.
Use your Googling skills.
Well done, Ed.
Johnny, talking about crashing and burning.
Yeah. So
not sorry, I should break myself before anyone says it. Not crashing. Forced off airport landing, and definitely not burning.
Yeah, so we've got a barn find. This surfaced on eBay. It's a BD5, which is the prop-powered version of the mini-jet that was in the Bond film Octopussy. Now, it's found in a garage in that condition in Beckenham in Kent. And it is for sale on eBay now, so you can go and look at it. You can go and bid on it. As they say on the ad, it will need some work to get back to pristine condition. But it is quite a project, really. And the whole thing will obviously fit in a Luton van, which is super handy. You can just nip down to your local van hire place and pick it up. But it looks to be in decent condition. It's got a great engine. It's a 793cc Hearth model Honker 2-stroke, which is a great name, which is about 70 horsepower. But what do we all think?
I think this is an aeroplane which will only have a useful purpose of looking cool somewhere and not flying.
Can you imagine what a 750 3-cylinder 2-stroke air-cooled 2-stroke sounds like on full chat? That's
probably quite a din, especially in the BD. The fact that it's mounted behind your head.
I think the other thing is, I wonder, it's not so much what it sounds like at full chat, but how long it sounds like that at full chat, because it's probably not very long, is it?
I'd probably put up with the noise of it running just for knowing that it was running.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know they weren't that reliable, were they? And I know that the CIA took a dim view on the lack of stability of the BD5, which is why it never got approved here.
Yeah, but it looks like the perfect kind of thing that a bloke from Gloucester Airport could polish up and make look nice.
Yeah, Aerotiques. If you're watching this,
he is. He's there.
Yeah.
Is he?
In fact,
there on the comments.
As is there, I think we ought to just have Darren, just a little quick thumbs up to you, because I hear that I had an email from Sebastian Pooley today who's telling us about the winners of the Pooley's competition, which were announced last week. And Darren, as you know, won the £250 worth of vouchers and donated it straight away to Fly to Help. Fantastic.
Well
Good
done.
move, Darren.
Good
Thank
man.
you very much. Well done.
Well done, Darren.
Yeah. Just a word to anyone else who's thinking of bidding on this. I think it's was it 1,900 quid at the moment or something?
Yeah.
We quite fancied that, or Ed quite fancied that as a kind of a prop in the forthcoming Flyer studio, which we don't yet have, but that we're all thinking about. And so if anyone wants to buy that and loan it to the Flyer studio, you can have your name on it. That would be great. And if you've got any other aviation artifacts that you think would look good in the Flyer studio, please don't be shy. Get in touch. We will be looking at some stage to dress the Flyer studio. Now we can all sort of get together from time to time and not do stuff remotely like this. So you too could be part of something really famous for a little bit. Well, I say really famous. I mean, not very famous, but send us your aeronautical stuff. Let us know. Talking of aeronautical stuff and fame, Dave.
Right, I've got
the next story.
I've got the story of Richard Browning, better known as the Iron Man. Well, he's the inventor of the Gravity Industries jet suit. This is the one that Ed, when we first saw it, Ed came up with a good joke. "We salute you, sir. Just don't salute back." And so Richard has been having a busy few days. He's been out on Plymouth Sound with the Royal Marines, showing how this jet suit could be used by the Marines in a terrorist takedown on a ship that's been hijacked. And it's a great video, which should be, there's a story on our website, and a great video showing how this would happen. we did surmise in the office, well, virtual office. We did surmise that some bloke standing there with a 12-bore shotgun could take him out before he got anywhere near. But never mind.
Or a hose pipe.
And also, the poor Marine's coming along like this, and even if he's got a gun, he's going, if I move like this, I'm going to... It's just... I'm not really...
Yes. The other thing Richard's been up to is that today, he's launched his book. The book is called Taking on Gravity, A Guide to Inventing the Impossible from the Man Who Learned to Fly. That's a heck of a title, that. Yes.
Can I have to check a copy of that out?
Yes. I haven't seen one yet, so I can't tell you what it's like, but it's about his trip into inventing, the jet suit and how it happened. And he's an interesting guy, Richard. He was once an oil trader. He's a Royal Marines reservist. And now his Gravity Industries is a business all of its own, and going out in various ways. He's got a jet suit race series planned sometime in the future.
Wow.
Yes, I know. It's going to be chaos.
I think we should try and get him. We should try and get him along to a live stream.
Yes, we should. Yeah.
We can give him a grilling. Would that be appropriate with the?
We should try and get him along to a Fly Club fly-in.
And I was going to say, we should try and get him along to a Fly Club fly-in as well. That would be.
And he could be the grill.
Can't do that. We'll wait till November. We'll go and buy some rockets and get those and strap them on our arms and see if we can't do the same.
Yeah.
No? Okay. Perhaps not. Ed.
Is it me again? Oh my gosh.
It's you again.
Yes. So obviously it's the month of May and we're flying. So we thought it was a good time to remind you that if you're a Fly Club member, don't forget there's 6 great free landings in the May issue. Audley End, Bodmin, East Airfield. Hello, David Eads. We see you in the comments. Thanks for your free landing. Kingsmuir, Longside, and Shipton. So save yourself £45 if you're a Fly Club member. If you're not, don't forget £7.50 a quarter to join currently at the moment. And don't forget the June issue still alive at the moment. And if you haven't learned about bush flying school, training on a Vision jet, or flying adventures in Scotland, Paul Cadell, excellent adventure there, then check out that issue. And obviously don't forget the new Learn to Fly guide is out at the moment. So if you're thinking of learning to fly, that has all the information you need. And I have links to post if you haven't seen any of those. So,
and if you can already fly and you're not thinking about learning to fly, you must know people who can't fly. So just make sure you point them in the direction of Learn to Fly guide. We need more pilots. Aviation needs more people flying. Airfields need more people. Everything. It all comes down to pilots. So let's all see if we can't get one. If every pilot got one of their mates to learn to fly, we double the pilot population overnight. What a
And we all know what fun it is. So share that fun.
Absolutely, share the fun. Johnny, you got a couple of videos to tell us about?
Yeah, so we've started publishing segments of Fly Live on our YouTube channel. This week we've uploaded. What's that? Welcome back. Better than thank you, Graham. This week we've uploaded my interview with Steve Hicks and his workshop tour with him building his RV14. And we've also published Ian's chat with Stevo Wonkanevo, the YouTube star. So that's live now. So as soon as you've finished watching this, you can go back to our YouTube channel and keep on watching Flyer content. We're going to be publishing more and more every couple of days for the next probably couple of months, I should think. So there'll be tons of great content for you to catch up on if you missed out on Fly Live.
Plus all the new stuff we'll be creating at the same time. It's just like a creation fest, isn't it? Anyway, so coming up soon, we've got when I say soon, I mean as soon as I finish this introduction, we've got Johnny Salmon talking to Bruce Buglass from Sleap Airfield. I had to check out those pronunciations earlier. I hope I got them right. I was told that if I called it Sleap, that my PPR request would be denied. So it's definitely Sleap. Great place, visited it. Look forward to hearing a bit more about that imminently. So, Bruce, after this, you're on.
Hello.
Good evening, Bruce. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. So just first off, just tell us a bit about yourself, and do you fly yourself?
Yes, absolutely, and of course from Sleap, pronounced the right way. Yes, no, fly up there. Have been flying up there since I was about that high, really. Yeah, learned to fly up there, and fly as soon as I finish work, leg it out the door, and go flying. It's good fun.
Excellent. So, what do you do at Sleap?
I'm the airfield manager up there. So yeah, I've been the airfield manager there for a few months now, and been working there just over a year. So yeah, it's good in there.
Great. And then just tell us briefly about the aircraft that you fly.
Fly a Skybolt, as seen on the wall there. Yeah, fly a Skybolt and a few other different types, mostly LEA permit types. But yeah, try and get in the pilot seat as much as I can, really.
Yeah, good. So from the point of view of an airfield, what have all the lockdowns been like, and what's the past year been like?
Oh, yeah, it's been a fun year, that's for sure. An interesting year to start my airfield management, that's for sure. But in many ways, I like to think it's a good thing. You know, we've got a lot done in lockdown when there isn't all those PPRs and airplanes being a nuisance. You know, we've got an awful lot done. So it's been good in many ways. It's helped us reorganize things and completely restructure stuff. Which normally, you know, we're open 7 days a week, so the chance we get to you know, have a bit of time and get stuff. So we've repainted things, you know, we've completely refurbished the place. So yeah, it in many ways we got to look at the positives. There was days when I was sat at the airfield, and we'd all been working up there, and it was a sunny day, and there was something very surreal about it being warm and it being sunny, and there's not a single airplane making a noise. It was very, very strange.
Yeah. Oh, can you just turn your volume down slightly? Getting a bit of feedback. Yeah, going back a year and not seeing airliners flying overhead and not hearing the drone of gorgeous Lycomings and Continentals was very difficult. So, how has it changed how you behave as an organisation? Yeah, I mean, you missed out the excellent sound of a Rotax there as well. It sounds like a lawnmower, but no, we've had to sort of think on our feet a bit this last year. As many people hopefully are aware, certainly hope so. We've been actively trying within the community. You know, we've been doing a lot of Facebook stuff. We've been trying to get involved a lot more and sort of put a lot more effort in to get more people in. You know, we've been actively trying, and it is working. You know, we are a little bit busier these days. So yeah, it's good. We've also been promoting all of the things that we've got on the airfield. You know, we've got a lot of nice airplanes. We've got 130 aircraft base there. We've got the museum as well, as it came up there. Yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff. We don't actually have any airplanes built, but we've got a few different. You know, it's called the Wartime Recovery Group, and it sort of follows the tour around Shropshire, where they've been going around digging up various warplanes, and talks about the story of when Sleap was in the war. They used to do the Horsa gliding training out there. They had Wellington bombers towing them then, and it talks about the story about how it crashed into the tower twice in like 2 weeks and killed 14 people. But it's a bit of a sad story, really. But no, the museum's well worth a visit, as is obviously the rest of it. So promoting all of that has been the main aim. Great. And then just talk us through what kind of changes and improvements have you made to the airfield, because it looks from social media like you've been busy with new fire trucks and laying new tarmac and all sorts. Oh, the fire truck's like the jewel in my eye. I absolutely love that thing. But yeah, no, we've been busy. We were very lucky. We've got a lot of fantastic members within the club. One of our members managed to secure a variety of government grants. So far, we've got about 50 grand from the government in grants, which has really helped along. So there's no point sitting on the money. So we've been busy spending it. So we've put down a load of new tarmac. We've because, you know, being a wartime airfield, the tarmac is never brilliant. So yeah, we've spent a load of money on that, and we're going to continue spending money on that as we go each year, and eventually it will be as smooth as the M25, hopefully. But we're hopefully just going to be installing very soon 24-hour fuel pumps
And we've also spent a lot of money refurbishing the cafe, which leads me on to the comment that popped up there. So we've gone a lot of effort to try and make everything better. But the cafe's had a complete refurbishment. It's got a different owner now, brand new kitchen, and we spent a fair bit of money up there making it nice, because let's be honest, the reason most people fly places is because they want to go and visit the cafe and having a very expensive burger. It's not too expensive to buy, but getting there, it's not cheap. But no, so yeah, just mainly the main thing is it's just dragging people to Sleap, our very best.
Yeah. So just to answer that question, what is the best thing on the menu?
Oh Christ, I don't know. I forgot my lunch today whilst I was working up there today, so I had to go and choose it myself. I would say there's the Chocks Away breakfast is very, very good, and then they do a big version called the Wing Commander. So it's like a massive breakfast, and if you can finish it, it's a big one.
Brilliant. Yeah, so just to answer Steve's question, how many movements are you doing?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I mean, I don't have them in front of me, but yeah, we have got busier since we've been open, and obviously the lockdown push has been fantastic. You know, we've had a lot of people wanting to get out. Not only the aircraft base there, but we've had a lot of people visiting, because I mean we were one of the first to open, and we've tried to stay open as well throughout the whole of the lockdown, which did us well. So yeah, we are a nice busy airfield on a nice sunny day. It's a good place to visit.
Yeah, so you're quite open in terms of people can camp, can't they, for free?
Yeah, it's not for free actually. It's only free on events, but we won't go into that. But yeah, you can camp. Near actually is Sleap. You know, we've got several really nice towns. Shrewsbury's on it, or Shrewsbury is a really nice town, and that's only like a 10-minute ride in. So we have a lot of people visiting there. And also, if you don't want to step off the airfield, we've got the museum, we've got the cafe, we've got all these vintage, fantastic airplanes that are all based there. So there's lots to see and do just for a visit. And usually there's a barbecue as well, so that's pretty decent.
That all sounds really good. So have you got any big plans for 2021?
Yeah, well, remain busy is one of them. But yeah, we've got a few events and things planned. We've got some, again, we're going to be spending more money on various things. One of the really exciting things for us is the pay at pump fuel system that's going in, because it will reduce our workload in the office no end. But yeah, you know, we're hopefully going to be doing quite a lot in terms of upgrading the airfield. We're not stopping there, and a few events through the summer. So yeah, it'll be good.
Brilliant. Yeah. So just, I mean, this is your opportunity to give us a bit of a, you know, Pistons and Props promo. So what can we expect to see?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, so we've just launched, as some of you may have been aware, we've been planning for some time, but we've just launched the Pistons and Props weekend, which is on the 17th of July. We swapped it to that date because that was when React cancelled. So we thought, oh, fantastic, we'll put it then. No one will be going to that. So yeah, hopefully the weather will play ball, which will be tremendous. So it's mostly just a fly-in for the general flying population. You know, there's a lot of fantastic people who we see on a daily basis, but it really is just going to be a fantastic fly-in. There's going to be barbecue all day, a variety of different food stalls. There'll be a beer tent, which I suspect will be popular, although hopefully not when you fly home. And we've got a lot of interest in visiting airplanes. We've invited a lot of interesting stuff. It's difficult to confirm at the moment, obviously, with not only the weather but COVID. But yeah, we've hopefully got Spitfires coming. We've got Harvards. We've got Hurricanes. We've got all the stuff that's based at Sleap as well, which is an awful lot. And yeah, we've hopefully got a lot coming, and you know, we're going to hopefully have a lot of people as well, which will be great. To answer the question, we will, as we get a bit closer to the event, we'll be announcing how to book in and everything. So if you like our Facebook page, then you'll be able to see that.
That's great. One other question. How impacted are you by Shawbury in terms of arrival and departure?
They've spelt Sleap the wrong way, but we won't go into that. No, we are actually very close to the max. It's a really good question, actually. Fantastic, because it's a concern of mine. You know, I'm scared it puts people away, because the last thing we want is that. Shawbury are great, they're actually really, really helpful. Not sure how much you know about it, but Shawbury themselves are a massive helicopter training school. They've got a lot of helicopters there, and they do an awful lot of flying. But they are very, very, very friendly people. We're inside their mats. We're just sort of inside that. But we've been there just as long as them, and they really do support us. So yeah, flying into Sleap, you do need to give them a call, especially midweek when they're really busy and open. They close at weekends. But if you just give them a call on their frequency, which is 13315, then yeah, they'll give you a great service. They'll either give you a basic traffic, they can do all the rest of it. It's quite a busy area, so again, the traffic service is a good idea, and they'll give you all the relevant info, usually the runway that we're using. So it'll really drop you in, and they will help you out. So yeah, do not be put off by the fact Shawbury are close.
Brilliant. And yeah, grass runway?
Sort of. We have a grass landing area available that is on the same runway as the area. If you it's strictly PPR, you cannot use it without permission. So you do need to give us a call and talk to us about it. So yeah, sort of.
Fantastic. No, that all sounds really good. So thanks very much for that. And I think we can sort of say with some confidence that we will hold the first ever Flyer Club fly-in at Sleap at some point. Time, dates to be confirmed, but with such a positive attitude and a great thriving airfield, it seems like the place to visit. So we're looking forward to that. So Flyer Club members, we will let you know more as and when we get it.
Fantastic. Can't wait myself.
Cracking. So have you got any final comments for people watching?
Thanks very much for having me. And for those watching, please do visit Sleap soon, and we'd love to have you. That's
fantastic. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I will be up as soon as my permit comes in, and I'll jump in the RV and come and say hello. And I think now it is time for us to go to Fantasy Hangar.
Well, hey, it worked.
Only just.
Only just. What a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, we went up to Sleap a couple of times, didn't we? We did the what was that aircraft we flew out there? It was the
last time we were up there, we did the flight test of the Just Highlander, didn't we?
That was it. Just Highlander, yeah. That was
and it was that was one of those. That's probably 2-3 years ago now. Maybe probably 3 years ago, and it was the burning hot summer, wasn't it? It was in June.
Yeah, and whenever we go to places, there are some airfields that we go to that make everything's made easy. We don't get in their way, they don't get in our way. Everything is just like super smooth, and Sleap was definitely one of those. And there are others where it's a little bit tedious and difficult, and we won't mention too many of those at the moment. We might do as the year goes on. You never know. Anyway, tell us about Fantasy Hangar, Ed.
Fantasy Hangar. So we thought tonight. We were so inspired by the news story about the BD5 being found in the garage as a garage find and appearing on eBay. I thought wouldn't it be great? Let's instead of going looking for that finished and flying aeroplane, I tasked everyone with going to find a project. So we've scoured the internet and everyone's got their best project.
And Johnny's first.
I have the best project, Ed. I've gone for this pretty impressive, what is effectively an ME208 slash Nord 1101. It's enormous. I mean, look at the size of that. It's a fantastic looking airplane. It's got the most amount of dihedral I've ever seen in any airplane at all. If you Google ME208, you can see some great photos side on. It looks like a Boeing 787 wing flex, but this thing comes with a new old stock engine installed and a spare engine and a brand new prop with apparently tons of spare parts, which Ed has a view for people who use that phrase in adverts, but I think it just looks great. I know it's not a tail dragger, but it looks fantastic. It can fit tons of stuff inside. It's huge. I think it just looks great.
That's quite a family bus, and it looks like the classic advert where it's like I bet it had words in it like doesn't need very much to sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, it flew compared to the your pick. It flew 5 years ago.
Very good. Yeah. But it's like I say, when it says loads of parts, that usually means we bought so many parts and we still can't get it flying.
Yeah.
Good choice. Who's next?
In the flesh, they're great, but I'm not entirely sure about that as a
That's it. Where did you find your project, by the way, Johnny?
Barnstormers.
Barnstormers. Such a great website.
$90,000.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a bit of a punchy price.
It depends. If all the parts are there and all Johnny has to do is peel the paper off the windows, wash off the dust, figure out why there's a big pool of oil underneath it.
Yeah, and type a Dear Francis email.
That's it.
$90,000. It's going to probably cost you $15,000 to get it anywhere, and that's even if it's in America. Then it's going to cost you another $90,000 before it's half done, before it's 90% done, and then you've still got the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I've gone for something else. I've gone for a complete. It might be a bit cruel to call it a barn find, but I've got Maurice Kirk's life. Okay, Maurice Kirk, the flying vet, put this advert in A4s. Basically, seems to be that he's selling pretty much everything. Well, I don't know. He might have a whole load more, but selling an awful lot of stuff. You can almost buy a hangar. There's a couple of Breton cottages from $20,000 in there, £20,000 in there. So that's not bad. There's a French D-Day Cub, 25,000. Wings currently off. Maybe you just need to put the wings on, and then you go and take off. Who knows? I suspect not. There's all sorts of stuff. There's even an offer for a free airplane if you can recover the aircraft that are somewhere in Maine with a whole load of other things somehow. One of my Cubs is missing. You can have one for free. So this is not $90,000 for a pile of primed metal. This is free if you can find it and if you can get it back, which may cost you a few quid. Like homing engines for Taylor crafts, a Maurice Minor convertible 5,000. There's so much, isn't there? Look, there's all sorts of stuff. I reckon that's the way to go.
That's not so much barn find as find the barn, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think luckily you've got those cottages in France, haven't you? So
yeah, that has to rate as one of the most off the wall classified aviation ads of recent months.
Yeah, I've met Maurice a few times, and I've had a few conversations with Maurice over the years, and I think it would be an interesting. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I've never tried, but it might not be completely straightforward negotiation.
Yeah, and Andrew Kennedy says, "Isn't the Cub in Kenya?" Well, I think there is a Cub in Kenya. Maybe that one's not for sale.
Yeah. Didn't that get repatriated? Didn't it get repaired, or did it get left over?
It got repaired. I'm not sure. I think it may still be out there. It's probably easier to get to than the one on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. Well, there's a. What's the aviation equivalent of a port for every storm or something? Whatever it is.
Yes, I don't know.
A worldwide network of Cubs.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? Yeah. Dave, what did you go for?
Well, today's been a very busy day for me. I've had lots of stuff to get written. So, Ed, you made an executive decision and went out and found one for me.
Well, I found you a link. I said, what about this for you?
Yes, well, based on the fact that I've expressed an interest in the Hughes helicopter, because I like the Hughes 500. It's a gem of a helicopter. Ed has come up with, or we've come up with, okay, it's a joint decision. We've come up with the Revolution Mini 500T. It's a turbine helicopter. This is it here. In the ad, this is starting up. It's somewhere in France. Anyway, it's a kit helicopter. And originally it was made with a piston engine, which I'll come on to in a minute, but originally made by a piston engine. But the real thing about this helicopter, when I did a bit of research on it, because I'd never heard of it before, I found some quotes. One quote was, of those that did fly, there were many component failures, dozens of accidents and incidents, and 9 fatalities. The president of the International Experimental Helicopter Association, a chap called Bill Phillips, who completed a kit but did not fly it, said, "You can tell it's junk just by looking at it." Did we decide about? Oh, we didn't. We did decide. We're not going to go there, aren't we? He had a comment about the person who was behind the kits, but it's probably libelous, so we won't go there. Anyway, what happened after the because of all these incidents, people dying and this kind of thing? Not surprisingly, the company did not do very well and went bankrupt. One of the engineers who worked there, a chap called Richard Stitt, bought the tooling and rights from the administrator after Revolution went out of business, and he decided to take it, make it better, work out all the bad points, and also he decided that the previous piston engine just wasn't powerful enough. So he went and took a jet engine, a turbine engine, from a Chinook. Yeah, not one of the big ones that turns the main rotor. This is a little one at the back called the APU, the Auxiliary Power Unit, that drives the systems. Anyway, he fitted this to the Mini 500. That's what you saw in that picture. And apparently, I've seen some videos, it flies quite well. That's as much as I can say about it, really. But one good thing, Richard Stitt, he had quite a lot of inquiries about this engine conversion, but he wouldn't sell them unless the owner of the aircraft brought the helicopter to his workshop so that he could check it over and make sure it was safe. That's good going, I think.
So the original piston engine was the 582, wasn't it? The Rotax 582.
That's right. It was another two-stroke, the Rotax 582. Which isn't a bad engine. Lots of microlights flying with them, but it's in a helicopter you need the engine's working hard all the time.
There was some talk of it being underpowered, and I saw that advert, and you see the flame coming out the back, and you go, that looks like some kind of project. What was the best will in the world with projects? What needed doing on it?
Well, it's a French ad, so it said the reducer, and the reducer is the transmission, the gearbox that takes the drive from the engine to the main rotor, and also
great. So all you have to do is tinker about in this turbine powered helicopter with the gearbox between the power and the rotor.
What I can't work out from that photograph is what a gas cylinder is doing at the front of the picture.
I don't know, generating that enormous flame, I think, isn't it?
I can only assume that it was insured and that the gas propane cylinder is there to make sure that it burnt completely to the ground before it ever got anywhere near flying.
25,000 euros asking for that.
Wow. Well, that's an exciting thing to have on your lawn, I think, isn't it? But maybe not to go flying in.
No, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No. So that just leaves me.
It does, Ed.
Go on, Ed.
Yes.
There you go.
So I went looking, and in Trader Plane, I found this an amazing beach stagger wing for just $85,000. I'm going, well, that's quite cheap, and this looks amazing. And in true project style, you go looking at the other photos, and actually your $85,000 stagger wing is actually it's promised to be all there. There's a spare prop. All the wings are there. The fuselage is stripped. There's an engine. There's a bunch of new components. But I'm not sure. I think maybe an $85,000 stagger wing project is going to cost potentially more than just going and buying a ready flying stagger wing. And unfortunately, this one was taken apart before I was born in 1975. So that's an awfully long time to be taken apart, and some parts maybe go missing. Who knows? Maybe it's all there, but that's always the thing with projects, isn't it? Where they just go, it's all there, it's all guaranteed. There's even some spares.
Did you choose that just so you could get in the line that 1975 was before you were born?
Well, it was only well, I was born in 1975. Obviously, I wasn't a child of the 80s like Johnny.
Barely. The 80s.
Barely. You were nearly 90s, were you, Johnny? Yeah.
Dave and I want to move on at this point. Thank you very much. So
I did go looking at after Ian mentioned it's like maybe that's going to cost a lot of money to put right. And it's like, yeah, actually, for another $215,000, you can get a fully flying Stagger Wing where all the bits are guaranteed to come along with it. So,
on the Stagger Wing point here, I mean, it's a stunning aircraft until you get to the empennage. And what were they thinking when they did that? Seriously, I mean, did no one ever look at that picture, at the drawing, and go, "Well, that bit's but ugly, isn't it? We need to change that." I mean, it's just appalling. What? Seriously, I don't know. I don't know how they got. I don't know how they got away with that. It's terrible.
I don't know. As Adrian Norris says, why didn't you offer Dave that Stagger Wing and keep the Death Trap helicopter? I genuinely thought Dave would love this Mini 500. I didn't offer it to him because it might kill him.
Yeah. So did everyone in the comments confirm that my buying Maurice Kirk's Life was the best barn find?
No. Pete Pangeli says, propane's used to start the turbine. That answers that question. Martin Loosby said, why are electronic waves coming out of Ed's head? It's the sheer thought of spending hundreds of thousands of pounds of restoring a Stagger Wing. Is my screen flavor. Generally, the result was Ed wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one. I don't think anyone thought that the Maurice Kirk advert was a safe place to venture.
Okay, I can see where they're going. Right, time to move on then. Ed wins yet another one. I think Ed might have to stop setting the challenges and you might have to and setting the rules and everything else. I reckon you find something that's quite good and then just craft the fantasy hangar around that.
Now, see, we know that that's not true because we sit there on a Wednesday going, what's going to be fancy hangar this week? And all shuffle and look at our feet. Maybe it's a chance. Maybe if you're a viewer and you're going, they've never done this for fancy hangar, make a suggestion and we'll pick up your topic and run with it.
Well, yes. We have got one. We have got one pending. We're just waiting for a news story to come along that we can hook it into, really.
Yeah. Paul Cookers qualified the Ed wins comment. That was before the picture of the kit was shown.
Yeah, well, Richard Kennedy's come up with a decent point, and we all lost.
Richard's going off to buy the BD, isn't he, I guess?
Yeah.
And Mark Wilkes says, there's a new Maurice Kirk advert in today's LAA mag. Oh, we can't wait to see that.
Wow. Yeah. Well done, Mark. You need to go buy it.
Yeah. Ian, you're slowly vanishing off the top of the screen.
Because I'm growing. Let my chair down a bit. Dave, I do believe there's a whole bunch of events you're ready to tell us about now that we can all get out there.
Yes, after a year of events being cancelled, now that May 17th is nearly on us, when we can start to do a few more things, events are starting to pile up. And in just the last couple of weeks, we've had a few things confirmed. Obviously, there's another event at Shuttleworth coming up on the 15th of May, Spies and Intrigue evening driving display. Sounds very good. Also at Old Warden is the Chipmunk 75th anniversary. That's on the 22nd. I'm going to speed up here. Flying Day at Duxford on the 22nd of May. British Air Racing Championship kicks off at Beccles on the 22nd of May. The Vintage Aircraft Club flying at Tur Weston is on the 23rd of May. Spanfield, the microlight flying, is at Sandown on the 28th to the 30th of May. Airability Armchair Air Show is on the 29th of May. Perth Airfield is going to be the Back to Flying, 29th of May. And finally, this month, Glen Falls flying from 29th to the 31st of May. It's and it goes on like that for the rest of the summer. And if Simon can confirm, the weather's going to be great, so we can go to all of them.
Brilliant. Excellent. Johnny, over to you.
Yes. So as I mentioned, we've decided that we're going to do the first club flying at Sleap. So we'll get our heads together and start making that happen, and we'll let you all know when, what time, how many of you can fit in, and all of that kind of thing. So we'll let you know all the information that you need. We've also got some more webinars on the horizon and some interesting interviews possibly a former Red Arrow to talk about risk and preparing for untoward events, and a Reno air racer who also flies the U2. So we've got more to follow on that, and we'll get another Joe Fournier safety analysis article live this weekend. So keep your eyes on your inboxes for that, and also keep sending your pictures, because we love seeing that you guys are getting out and about and flying, and it's good to get them in the magazine. So if you're out and about tomorrow, because it's looking good, please do take some pictures and send them to us, because we like to see them. And if, of course, this is the best bit, if you're not a member of the club, you can join today for the great sum of, drum roll, £7.50. £7.50 per quarter.
You've been taking lessons from your dad, haven't you?
Yeah. So just head to fly.co.uk and look for the club tab at the top, and everything you need to know and to join is in there.
Yeah, Andrew Kennedy is taunting you
per month. £2.50, Andrew.
There can't be anybody watching this who's not a member of the Fly Club. Surely. Go and tell your friends to learn to fly, and tell your friends to join the Fly Club. It would be fantastic. Right, which leads us on. We've only got QSY left, a couple of bits and pieces to do. So, Dave, you got a QSY story for us, haven't you?
Yes, it's a slightly curious story, this. There's a gyro instructor based at Beccles called Andy Hawes. He and a mate were converting the ARV Super 2 to Rotex power. They were first converting their own aircraft, but then this one, Papa Oscar Lima, came up for sale, and the chap who was building this was further through the conversion than they were. So they decided to buy it. Cost them £6,000. Seems quite a reasonable price. And Andy told me earlier today, there's no such thing as an easy conversion. There's engine mounts, exhaust system, wiring, controls, the cowlings, everything has to be modified. And they've been working on the Oscar Lima, and it was nearly finished. They were almost ready to apply for a permit, and the engine was stolen. Andy reckons it must have been someone who knows him, the aircraft, or the airfield, because the engine was unbolted rather than just cut out, as has been the case with some other Rotax thefts. So they're pretty heartbroken. And he has put the project up for sale because he simply cannot face the idea of doing it all again. Apart from the fact it's quite a bit of money down, having paid for that Rotex 912. So it's up for sale, £6,000. Just needs a Rotex 912. There is a bit of good news coming out of this, in that it was first reported and he was going to give up flying because of the theft. He was so upset by it. When I spoke to him, he confirmed it's not true. He's giving up the ARV, but he's continuing to fly gyrocopters. Sorry.
Wow.
So,
right, so I'm glad that it's continuing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And good luck to anyone who takes on the project. So I'm not sure it would be one that I'd take on. Right. Okay. I've got one little thing. Earlier this week, I spotted a video which, if I click this button, I'm hoping it'll work, and we can all have a little chat as we watch it. We've heard lots and lots of stuff about eVTOL and eVTOL passengers. So here you've got an eVTOL demo with actually 2 human beings in it, believe it or not. Let's see if this works. There you go. There they are. It's not like there's a whole load of people close.
There's some waving going on.
Waving going on. There's an iPad. Some 2 people trying not to look scared.
That looks. Hold on.
Point harnesses.
Yeah. Are we looking out the window at basically what is it is a huge flying blender.
I mean,
that is not mildly terrifying at all. They look surprisingly calm.
Probably because they've got no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I reckon they were probably volunteered, as it were.
Yeah.
If this was taking place in the UK, there would have to be a big TDA, and those people wouldn't be able to be that close.
TD, don't get out yet. We haven't stopped the engines.
That's just mental.
Yeah.
That just looks terrifying.
It does indeed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I'm not planning to do that anytime soon, and good to hear from them. Good for them. I'm glad somebody else did it and not me. So we are.
Someone says they've been sedated.
If they weren't before, they'd need to be afterwards, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we are actually on time. There's 15 seconds.
Oh dear, very good, Claire. They'd be at 8,500 feet if they're in the UK. They'd be going, "Hello, Stansted." No, Gatwick.
Hello, is that the CA drone team I see down there on the roof at Goodwood?
Oh, it mustn't be me.
No.
And then it all goes quiet.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, it just leaves me to say thank you very much, Ed, Dave, and Johnny. Thank you very much, everybody out there, for watching. We will be back next Thursday. I'm going flying tomorrow. I'm going to go and fly with this Sentry. So I'm going to take this opportunity to thank 4Flight for sponsoring the live stream again. Please do everyone a favor and go and have a look at flywithsentry.com/flyer. And check it out, and I'll report back next week or the week after on exactly how the flying went and how that went. So thank you very much, and we'll see you all next week. Good night.
Thanks all. Bye.
Where's my cursor gone? There it is.